Meet Ivy, a bright, bubbly, beautiful young teenager who's got a passion for painting, loves the outdoors, and is very, very creative. She always loved painting right from when she was younger. She created a lantern right from the word go, which is now sitting in her bedroom, which she's so proud of. But recently, Ivy has been through a lot. Her father left when she was young, and now her mother is tied up with this new Bobby. He's so weird and so annoying. Ivy hates him so much. And right from the word go, when Bobby came onto the scene, she has always hated him, but her and her mother have been always really close. When Bobby came onto the scene, he was instantly infatuated with Kara, her mother, and he stole her from her. That's what Ivy thinks anyways. As you can see, Ivy is not happy, and she always wanted to have her mother's attention, and she just wanted her mother to love her unconditionally, which she always has. But when Bobby came onto the scene, everything changed. And this was the last ever time Ivy has seen her mother, when she told her to leave. And Bobby just stood there and grinned, and he watched, and he loved every single moment of it. This is the Runaway Teen Challenge, Season 1 on Kykles. There's about 10 or 11 rules that I need to go through really quick. So these were taken from forums.thesims.com, and the rules were adapted from Stardust X's original rules. Now, number 1 is we cannot build any kind of shelter for ourselves until we have earned the simoleons to do so. So meaning we can't use cheats or anything like that to create the simoleons to build our house. Okay, so rule number 2, we cannot have any electronics or appliances or cell phone access. We must put that on silent until we have a house, which is considered at least 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom, and 1 bedroom. Rule number 3, we cannot have a part-time job and we cannot have a full-time job until we are young adults and have a house, which is again considered 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom, and 1 bedroom. Rule 4, we cannot cook, shower, etc. on other people's lots or interact with adults until we are young adults. You are a runaway and they will report you as such. If your social meter gets low, you can interact only with children or other teenagers, which is going to be really tough. Rule 5, we can shower and use the bathroom at any public place like the gym. Rule 6, we can fish, garden, and dig all you want and sell them for simoleons. Rule 7, you can't go to school and we must cancel that interaction every single day. This will not affect any traits. Rule 8, each time you travel, you subtract 10 simoleons from your funds using the money cheat. So this last rule I am going to bend a little bit and I'm not going to do that. So just keep that in mind with this challenge. The goal is to survive. There is no points. You are simply trying to survive. Start a new life for yourself. You should aim for having a high-paying job, children, and a big house. The main thing you are doing is getting money the old way by fishing, gardening, and collecting. I want to quickly mention, before we do get started, the last rule about the 10 simoleons thing while we're traveling. I'm not going to be doing that rule. I'll be doing everything else though, but it's just that rule. I'm not going to remember that and I will forget, and yeah, so we're just going to go with the whole not subtracting simoleons every time we want to travel, which is fine. Alrighty everybody, so welcome to the challenge. This is Ivy Mendoza. She is a teenager and I'm going to be going through all of her traits and her aspirations really quick with you guys, as well as a little background story for her. Okay, so this is Ivy Mendoza. She is, of course, going to be the teenager for this Runaway Teen Challenge season number 1. She has got the main aspiration to be a painter extraordinaire. She wants to start through paintings while being inspired and paint for 5 hours. And her rewards points are 100. She's also a high school grade F student. So that is because she hasn't gone to school and we had to play like 3 or 4 days off camera because her uncle died and things like that. So she's also got no skills. Her relationships, let's have a really quick look at those. So she started to talk to Cassandra Goff before the challenge started. This is Bobby. This is her mother's boyfriend. Well, her new boyfriend, let's just say. Cara, her mother. She is mean, self-assured, and a snob, and she is also unemployed. She is really wealthy, let me just say. If you guys see her house, you will realize that she is very wealthy. She's one wealthy cookie. So when Cara was married to Ivy's father, Cara and Ivy's relationship was really, really great. They were really close. They were like so close. They used to go and do a lot of things together. They used to go on holiday together all the time. And Cara is actually unemployed right now, but she used to have her own retail store, and she also used to work part-time as in the doctor's office doing like office assistant work. So that's what she used to do. She was in the doctor field doing office assistant work. So before Ivy left Cara's house, her mother, they had a big falling out. Bobby and her had a really big falling out over lunch, and it was really bad. He was calling her names. She was yelling at him. She was saying that she hated him, and that ever since he came into her mother's life, he's changed her, and Cara's totally different now. She's a very mean, self-assured, and snob. And she never used to be like that. She used to be always bright and bubbly, but on saying that, that was back when Cara was actually married to Ivy's father. So that is a long time ago. Ivy's father is no longer on the scene. He's kind of gone a little bit MIA lately, but we don't know where he's gone. Pretty much he's just gotten up and left when Ivy was younger. Her uncle, which is Cara's brother, and also Cassandra, she started talking to her when they were just kind of hanging out at the house and things, and I couldn't stop that. So that's the only, I think Cassandra would be a teen, but I'm not too sure. And she also knows the Grimm, so they're acquaintances. So that is her relationships. She has Marcus's, gravestone in her inventory, as well as her homework, which will go sell soon. She's gloomy sim, she is domestic, and she loves the outdoors. So Ivy has got 12 days until she ages up to a young adult, and of course we played a few days off camera, so that is the reason behind that one. In terms of how she's feeling pretty okay. She's just a little bit sad because of Marcus's death and everything, which is her uncle. And pretty much the background story goes like this. So Cara and Bobby are partners. So let's just go back into relationships real quick. So her mother and Bobby are kind of seeing each other. They're kind of boyfriend and girlfriend, like the last time we left. They might be engaged now, I don't know. So the reason behind Ivy running away essentially is because Cara has become totally infatuated with Bobby. They're close, and Ivy feels totally left out, and she feels kind of abandoned as such. Ever since her father left, her and her mother, as I said, have been really close. They've been tied at the hip pretty much, to say the least. And ever since Bobby came onto the scene, he's just, I guess, changed Cara in a way, and he is tied up somewhere. I don't know how, but he is tied up somewhere in with the police. He's not got a good name for himself, pretty much. He's well known to the police for a few things like burglaries and all that sort of stuff. So that is that there. So that is pretty much the reason why Ivy ran away. She just felt like she was no longer wanted. She felt like she was just kind of abandoned. As you can see, she's feeling really upset from Marcus's death, and also because of Cara. She feels like her mother's kind of abandoned her and left her, and she feels really upset. She feels like she's lost the one person that loves her the most, and the one person that will always be there for her. She doesn't feel that connection with her mother anymore, and she feels like her mother is just, I don't know, changed so much, and she has. She's been really mean to Ivy. She's just been really vicious, and you guys would have seen before in the screenshots when I did like a voiceover type thing. You know, she just used to yell at Ivy all the time, and Ivy had no idea of why and why she was yelling at her. She was just getting pissed off at her. So heading back on over to Willow Creek now, here is Cara and Bobby. Cara is Ivy's mother, and Bobby is Cara's new partner. He is full of trouble. He is the bad boy. He is well known to the police for everything like burglaries and everything. Now let's just spin over to the house. This is the house they live in. As you can see, this is the base game house that was here in Willow Creek. If we head on up through the house, you can see how wealthy Cara and Bobby actually are. Wow. They've done a lot of renovations since Ivy left. And this was in a space of a couple of days. They've literally renovated a lot of things. I'm really shocked. Like, I honestly. So coming up through the hallway now, you can see in here is their little kitchen. Feels like they're just moving on with their life and not actually, I don't know if they even know. Like, I know that they know Ivy's missing and stuff. But I don't know. I just get the feeling like something, like, I don't know. I just get such a weird feeling. Anyway, so this is the party room, also known as Ivy's worst nightmare. Through this door here is Ivy's paradise. She left all of this behind. When she left everything exactly the way she would have wanted it to be. So this here is all of her paintings. She actually did the two on the end there, and she brought this, the middle one, with her first ever little pocket money she got from Cara, you know, when she was younger. So this here is Ivy's room, and you can see, like, you can totally see what sort of creative person she was. This is her lamp. She actually made this. She actually went out one day and brought some rope and some sticks that she found at the local fishing spot, and she made the lantern and everything. It looks so beautiful. So you can see it's only a very tiny, small room, but this is Ivy's, I guess, paradise. It's her home away from home, I guess, if you could call it. It's where she goes when things were wrong with her mother and her, and she had a fight. She'd just go in here and she'd read her books and she'd do paintings and she'd just get away from everything pretty much. Okay, so if we head upstairs now, this is the upstairs room. You can totally see that this is Cara and Bobby's new room, and oh my goodness, look at all those clothes. Bobby's really taken over in terms of like what the bedroom looks like. I mean, it didn't used to look like that. It used to look really like old and vintage, and he's just certainly taken over in terms of like the way he wants things to look. Goodness. So I hope this gives you an insight into Ivy's past, I guess. She used to love growing up here in this neighborhood. She used to come out here and she used to just watch the lights over at the neighbors, and she just used to go down fishing, and I don't know, she just loved walking along this footpath and at night time seeing all the lovely buildings around and just seeing everything. And she used to walk up the streets and she used to say hi to all her neighbors. But all I know is that Ivy is wanting to start a new life for herself. She's got a new adventure in front of her, and she's really excited to start this new adventure in Oasis Springs.